Hey guys, it's Ty and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing a small book haul. I have not really been buying a lot of books here lately. A lot of the books that I am going to be showing you guys I got from my subscription boxes. Other than that, I've just kind of been buying stuff here or there. I did do a book shopping vlog recently, like a couple of weeks ago. That video is posted, but I do have a few books from there. I have some books that I received from publishers. I definitely haven't been buying as many books like I have done in the past. I've just been utilizing NetGalley and requesting a lot of ARCs this year. I have been really using the Libby app to listen to like a lot of my library books. I've even been trying to get ebooks through there as well. So I'm trying to cut down as much as I can and only really buying books that I am extremely excited about, or buying books from authors that I typically buy books from. So we are going to go ahead and start with my subscription boxes. So the first we're going to start with is Aardvark. I do not know which month these books came from. Usually I will figure that out before I film, but this time we're just gonna go with the flow. So the first one from Aardvark I have is Death of the Author by Nnedi Okorafor. I have a couple of books by this author that I have not read yet, but this one sounded really interesting. It's about an author. It's a book within a book. I think there are like some sci-fi elements. It's more of a contemporary fiction book. So it says it follows a disabled Nigerian American woman who pens a wildly successful sci-fi novel, but as her fame rises, she loses control of the narrative. I've heard mixed things about this. I think this is one of those books where you need to go in with the right expectations. And so I have kind of like modified my expectations a little bit based off of the reviews I've seen from other people. But from the people that I follow, they seem to be really loving this one. Next up from Aardvark, I have The Strange Case of Jane O by Karen Thompson Walker. This is one where I was really kind of hesitant on whether or not this was the one that I wanted to pick for that month, but I have heard good reviews. And so this one says, a young mother is struck by sudden and puzzling psychological symptoms that illuminate the mysterious dimensions of the human mind and of love. I know from reviews, this definitely takes a turn, so I'm excited about this one. Next up, we have Perfectly Nice Neighbors by Kia Abdullah. This is actually one that I chose as like an add-on. I think this came out last year, but someone on Bookstagram was talking about this and this author in particular, so I wanted to go ahead and try this one out. This is a adult mystery, and it says, when your dream home comes with nightmare neighbors, how far will you go to keep your family safe? Again, another one. Good reviews. I've actually heard really good things about this author. I have another book by her that I want to check out, so I'm looking forward to this. And then the last one that I have from Aardvark is Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zhang by Kylie Lee Baker. Love the cover of this, and this has one of my buzzwords in it where it's talking about some sort of virus. So this is more of like an adult dystopian, but it says it's a wildly original, darkly humorous, and submersive horror novel for fans of The Only Good Indians and The Eyes Are the Best Part. So two books that I have not read, but I know that we're following this lady who is a crime scene cleaner, and she is, I guess, helping investigate some murders. And during all this, like, there is a virus that has been going around caused by bats. So I'm intrigued. Next up, I'm going to go over the books that I have received in the last couple of months from Book of the Month. The first one that we have is Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. I have already read this one. I have not talked about it on my channel yet, so I'm going to be pretty vague about my general thoughts, but this is a adult romance. We follow Lenny and Miles. Lenny is grieving the death of her best friend. She is introduced to Miles while she is babysitting for Miles's family. They strike up a friendship. He is helping her with her grief over her friend, and then a romance ensues. I thought this was fine. I rated this one 3 stars. I feel like other people might really enjoy this one, but for me, I think I just wanted a little bit more. So the next one that I have is Count My Lies by Sophia Stava. I think this is a adult mystery, and all I know is that we're following this woman who likes to lie, and one lie turns into another lie. So I'm looking forward to this one. Then we have Every Sweet Thing is Bitter by Samantha Cruson. This is another adult mystery. And in this, it says a woman with a violent past gets a chance at redemption in this upmarket suspense debut. Now, the reason why I ended up picking this one is because I read like one sentence and I knew this just sounded like a book that I was going to enjoy. It says, 13 years ago, Providence threw the family car in reverse and ran over her mother. That's all that I need to hear in order for me to pick up this book. So I hope that this book lives up to how excited I am. And then another one that I picked up from Book of the Month, we have Fantasm by Kaylee Smith. This is a adult fantasy romance, and I picked this one because this is one of their like best books of the year finalists. So at that time of the month, when they start talking about the finalists and their winners, you're able to pick one of those books for free. This is the one that sounded the most interesting to me, so obviously I picked it up. A quick blurb from this just says, Fantasm only has 2 rules: stay alive and don't fall in love. I think there's like some trials in here. It's like a dark gothic setting. So I'm looking forward to this one. Next up, we have Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli. This is the second book in the Crimson Moth series. It is a adult fantasy romance. Loved the first book in the series. This is one of my most anticipated books for this year. I think I've kind of been putting it off because I am just nervous. I'm like scared for it to be over. I know a lot of people have enjoyed this one, so hopefully it's as good as the first one in my opinion. But this series basically follows a witch and a witch hunter, and a romance ensues. So looking forward to this. The last book that I got from Book of the Month within the last few months is Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister. I have already read this. I have already talked about this, and you guys know I was not a fan. So this is a adult mystery thriller. We follow this woman who finds out that her husband has taken people hostage, and the police are asking her for help because they want to know why. First part of this was great. I was hooked, and then it went downhill from there. Now, other people have really been enjoying this, so take my opinion with a grain of salt. But I was not a fan, but I still am interested to pick up more from the author. So the next couple of books that I'm going to talk about, these are going to be books that were sent to me from the publisher. So the first one that we have here is Needy Little Things by Chanel de Samores. I have already read this. I have already reviewed it on my channel, but this is a young adult mystery thriller. So we're following this young girl. She has this power where she is able to be around other people and know exactly what it is that they're needing. So if she's around someone and they need a pencil, she'll know, she'll have a pencil at the ready and be able to provide these people with what they need. So during a music festival, her friend disappears. And so with the help of her friends and the help of her power, they are trying to find this friend. I gave this one 4 stars. It was really good. I enjoyed the audiobook. And this book also came with like this little pouch that says Needy Little Things. Again, I received this from the publisher. Another one that I received from the publisher, and I'm not sure if this is like one that I requested and forgot, but this is Blood Ties by Joe Nesbo. This is not an author that I have read from before. I do believe they are pretty popular though. This is a adult mystery, and this just says this is a novel about a community in crisis and 2 brothers on the verge of losing everything they've worked so hard to achieve. Now, when I looked at this on Goodreads, it said it was book 2. So I'm not sure if you absolutely have to read the first one in the series. The first book I have not heard of either. So I'm gonna probably go into this one a little blind. So the last one that I received from the publisher is Listen to Your Sister by Nina Vale. This is a debut. It is a adult like mystery with some horror elements. I'm gonna be upfront. I'm going to talk about this more in my next recent reads, but I DNF'd this. I was not a fan. Just to give you a little blurb from the back of this, it is a speculative horror about the nightmares that haunt us and the family bonds that hold us together. For those who love Jordan Peele's films, Stranger Things and The Other Black Girl, I did not like The Other Black Girl, but if you enjoy those, you will enjoy this. I just could not get into the story. That's all that I have. Something about it just wasn't pulling me in, so I put it down. I also received a gift from somebody, and I don't know who it was. I was left a gift receipt, but it didn't tell me who it was. So if you sent me this, thank you so much. Please let me know down below so I can thank you again. But this is The Art of Prophecy by Wesley Chu. It's the first book in the War Art saga. Love this cover, but this is adult fantasy. And it says, prophecies don't make heroes, they only choose them. And I seen Elliot over on Elliot Brooks's channel. She talks about a lot of fantasy. She was raving about this book. And so this book has been on my radar for the longest time. And I'm excited that I have it. So thank you. So the next few books I'm going to talk about, they were a part of my book shopping vlog that I did. I will have that video linked down below. But the first one I got as a part of that vlog is by Frida McFadden, adult mystery. This is The Perfect Son. And this says, all families have secrets, but some secrets are deadly. And I do know this is about a mother who finds out that her son might have murdered another student. Here for that. Then we have The House of Eve by Sadiqa Johnson. This is more of a historical fiction. It takes place in the 1950s and we're following two Black women. I think one is about to go to college, another one is pregnant, and somehow their stories collide. I picked this up because I have heard nothing but good things and I have been wanting to check out something from this author. So I'm happy that I picked this one. I'm happy that I found this one. Another one that I'm really excited about, and I have had my eye on this for the longest time, we have Delicate Condition by Danielle Valentine. I think this is more of a adult mystery, maybe with some horror elements, but we're following this woman who's on a IVF journey and she finally gets pregnant, but then the doctor tells her that she has a miscarriage, but then she's like, no, I still feel a baby in there. And so the story kind of takes off from there. I have seen really good reviews for this, and this just sounds like something that I know for sure that I'm probably gonna enjoy. Another book that I got from that vlog is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, a adult romance. I have a review dedicated to this, and spoiler alert, I did not like this. I gave it 2 stars. We're following these 2 characters, and I already forgot their names, Xavier and Samantha. And they go on a first date, and after the date, Xavier finds out that Samantha is going to be moving back home to California from Minnesota. And so they strike up this like long distance relationship. He's dealing with some issues from his past trauma with his parents. She's dealing with a mother that has severe dementia. That's the story. Did not care for it. Really wanted it to have more romance. So I did pick this up. And then the last book that I picked up from that vlog is Head Cases by John McMahon. Excited about this. This is one of my most anticipated books of the year. This is a adult mystery, and we're following an FBI agent who is an analytical genius with an affinity for puzzles. And he's basically looking into a serial killer. Heard one review, a glowing review about this one, and that had encouraged me to pick this up. So hopefully I enjoy it as well. These next few books, the rest of the books that I'm going to be talking about, are books that I have just been picking up randomly. So starting with this one, we have City of Gods and Monsters by Kayla Edwards. This is the first book in the House of Devil series. This is huge. Like, I could whack somebody over the head with this. Like, this is heavy, but I do like you can't really see it, but it's like a skyline. I do like the presentation of this book. It has like a quote on the back, and then pretty sure in the inside, it's a lot going on. In the inside, this is a map that has like a lot of stuff on it. So I'm really intrigued. Now, I have been seeing some mixed reviews about this, but it sounds like something that I would enjoy. I know a lot of people have been comparing it to Sarah J. Maas, so there's that. But a little blurb just says, "Welcome to the city of Angel Theme. We hope you survive." And I think this has to do with vampires, werewolves, witches, and other supernatural creatures. So hopefully I like it. Another most anticipated read that we have is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. This is another Hunger Games novel, which I'm so excited about because it is Hey Mitch's story. Now, I have not read this because at the last minute, I decided to do a reread of The Hunger Games. Now, so far, I have only reread The Hunger Games. And that is only because I have been getting sidetracked with some other things that I have been reading and some book clubs and stuff that I have been a part of. But I am going to jump back into that series, and I don't want to pick this up until I reread that. So I'm really excited about this. I've been seeing people saying that this book basically broke them. They were in tears. I know when I bought it, the girl at the counter said that she was a hot mess after she read it. So I'm really excited about this one. Another one that I'm like super excited about, and I'm like really loving these retro covers. We have Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman. This is a adult sci-fi novel. So this just says, "The apocalypse will be televised. Welcome crawler, welcome to the dungeon. Survival is optional. Keeping the viewers entertained is not." And the reason why I ran and picked this up is because over on Bookborn's channel, she did a whole review over this. She was raving about it. I did not know that this book had been released for a while. I think it was self-published and now it's being traditionally published because I seen different covers for this. But the way that she was talking about it, it made it seem like it was going to be something that I will enjoy. So hopefully I do. Next up, I have Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. This is book 3 in the Fourth Wing series. That is not what that's called. I'm forgetting what the series is actually called, but everybody knows what Fourth Wing is. Like I said, this is book 3. I actually went to a midnight release party because I wanted this special edition. The only thing special about it is that it has the sprayed edges with the dragons, which I actually really enjoy. Now, the reason why I have not read this one yet is because I did a soft DNF for Iron Flame, book 2. For some reason, I just have not been able to make it through that. At some point, I plan on trying to pick that book up again because from what I've been saying, it's like more mixed to people actually enjoying this one. And I do want to read it. I just have to get through Iron Flame first. And at this point, I have other books that I am prioritizing. So hopefully this will be something that I can get to by the end of the year. Next up, we have Tell Me What You Did by Carter Wilson. I am in the middle of this. I am on page 146. It's kind of slowing down for me, but this is a adult mystery. We're following this woman who is a true crime podcaster. Back in the day, her mother was murdered. She unfortunately witnessed that murder. Years later, she actually killed her mother's murderer. And so one of the guests that she has invited on to her podcast actually tells her that he is the one that killed her mother. And then the story kind of takes off from there. It has slowed down a little bit. The beginning was great. I'm hoping that like in this second half, it will start to pick up for me again. But so far, I mean, I'm enjoying it. Next up, we have Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. This is a cover that I absolutely adore. This is a new cover for this book, and this is a adult romance. I have had this recommended to me quite a few times. And so this one says, "You are cordially invited to the wedding of A. Marie Cross and Arnold Hightower. What happens in Tulum doesn't always stay in Tulum." And I heard this gets messy, and we know that over here on this channel, I love the mess. So I'm looking forward to this one. Next up, we have God of Malice by Reena Kent. To be honest with you, this was a cover buy. I also love the red sprayed edges. This is the first book in the Legacy of God series. Now, this is different for me because this is dark romance. And I don't read dark romance. I feel like I barely read a lot of romance. I usually tend to read whatever the popular romances are because it's not a genre that I usually gravitate towards. So one of my friends said this one might be a little darker than I probably should start off with, but I couldn't help myself. I had to get this. So this just says, don't romanticize me or you'll be eaten alive. I really don't know what this is about, but I am excited for it. Another dark romance that I got is Lights Out by Nvesa Allen. So this is one that my friend told me probably would be a little bit more my speed, especially if I'm someone that's just getting into dark romance. She said that this one was on the funnier side, but it says, a dark romance like you've never seen before. Can you handle this ride? Not sure. It says, I want someone with a soul as black as night, someone who would burn the world down for me and not lose a single minute of sleep over it. I want things most people don't, craving darkness and depravity instead of light and love. Sounds interesting to me. And then the last book that I have here is Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix, another most anticipated read for me. This is adult, I think it's adult horror or has like horror elements. I have heard mixed things about this, but I actually received this from a book signing that I went to that Grady Hendrix was at. His talk that he did was really interesting, and he did not talk about the book at all. For the entire hour, he had this really elaborate PowerPoint about witches and like witches through the years. He related it to like pop culture, and it was so entertaining and it was so outside of what I was expecting, because normally when I go to author signings, they talk about the books, the actual book that they just wrote. I think he mentioned it in the beginning and mentioned it at the end. He just talked about witches, and I was thoroughly entertained. And I also was able to get this signed, and it says, Ty, witches want to let you live your best life. I know that's right, okay? Love that. And he is such a nice man. But this just says, they all call them wayward girls, loose girls, girls who grow up too fast, and they're sent to the Wellwood House in St. Augustine, Florida, where unwed mothers are hidden by their families to have their babies in secret, to give them up for adoption, and most important of all, to forget any of it ever happened. I have heard mixed reviews for this one. I'm hoping that it is one that I will enjoy. So I do have one last book. This is my last book that I got from Aardvark for the month of April. I actually saw it being delivered as I was filming this, and I was debating on whether or not I should go get it, but I did. So we're gonna go ahead and open this up. And the reason why this came after the other books, because this was their special edition for the month, and they were sending them out in 2 batches, and if you ordered it after a certain time, then your order will be shipped with the second batch, and that's what happened to me. So the book that I am referring to is another anticipated read, and that is A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is the second book in a series. The first book, for whatever reason, the name of it is escaping me, but I read it last year, really enjoyed it. And this is a adult fantasy mystery series where we are following Anna and Den. And so the reason why this is a special edition is because it just has like the foiled cover, which I really, really like. So they had this where you could get this foiled cover for the first book as well, but I just went ahead and just only got it for the second book. I didn't need another copy of the first book. So I'm excited about this. I did really love the mystery that we followed in the first one. I like the worlds, and I'm excited to follow these characters again, and I'm happy that I was able to actually show you guys. The box was delivered just on time. So that is all that I have for you guys. These are all the books that I have bought in the last few months. So let me know your thoughts down below if you have read any of these, but I will see you guys next time. Bye.